So in this video, you're going to learn the 4 variation steps. Now, before we write down the steps, there's a couple things that you've got to keep in mind or that you have to interpret. So anytime you see the word varies, varies means equals. So when I see the word varies, I know that that means equals. So what I do when I set it up, it's always going to be something equals. Well, after the word varies, you're always going to have your constant of variation. So when I set it up, something equals K followed by some other number. Okay? So varies means equals, and I immediately write down equals K. Now when you see the word inversely, remember inverse variation has to do with division. So when you see the word inversely, immediately you need to think divide. Okay, so varies equals K, inversely division. So here are our 4 steps of variation. And so I set it up like this. So step 1 is going to be to write the variation rule. And usually in this step, you're also going to define your variables. Now remember, variables, this is anything that's going to have a number attached to it, and these are also numbers that could change. Okay, so step 1, write the variation rule. Step 2, you're going to find K. K is that one number that doesn't change. That's the set number, and you always have to find out what K is. They're just not going to give it to you. So find K by replacing variables with corresponding values, simplify, and solve. So step 1, the variation rule. Step 2, find K. Step 3 is to write the function rule. Now that you know what K is, you can write your rule. This is a rule that you could graph. So for example, y equals 1 over x. You see, in this example, my constant of variation, my K, is 1. Or maybe you could have y equals 2x. In this situation, my constant of variation, my K, is 2. We found out what K is. Now we have a complete function rule that we can graph. And then your last and final step, step 4, is going to be to solve the problem by using the function rule. So once you know what K is and you have your final function rule, you're going to use this rule to figure out what those changing variables are. So when x changes, what's y? Or if y changes, what's x going to be? Now, in the problems we're going to be looking at, we don't always use all 4 rules, but without a doubt, you're usually going to go and use steps 1, 2, and 3. The 4th step we're going to apply when we get to the word problems. Okay, so the next video you're going to watch, you're going to be focusing on just step 1 only, and we're going to be looking at what's called combined variation.